trending on social media for the past weeks is Trump's purported invasion of Nigeria. Now, Trump has been spewing all of these narratives on social media and even to the American media that Nigeria, when you go to Nigeria, Christians in Nigeria are being persecuted. And he even went as far as having Nicki Minaj speak at the UN meeting to convey how Christians in Nigeria are being persecuted. Now, we realize that the country's president, Tinubu, together with many people in Nigeria, have downplayed this narrative from President Donald Trump, citing that these kind of things or these kind of narratives, they hold no bearing. And then the people who are really persecuted are not just Christians. Muslims are also persecuted. And many even said it doesn't even exist at all. Well, less than just 5 days after this whole back and forth between the Washington, D.C. and also Nigeria government, reports came in that pupils were abducted from the Catholic school in fresh Nigeria attack. So this is BBC World Report that came. And this definitely has given Trump the green light. And now he's saying that Nigeria, because of all of these things which is going on and how the Nigerian government is failing to act and protect Christians and people, he may have to order the military to step in. Now, we want to watch this report coming from Fox News, how they reacted to this, and even what the president said in the first place. When we come back, we give you the rundown of what is about to happen, and even how ECOWAS, Ghana's President Trump, together with Tinubu, Nigeria's president, how they are all entangled in this whole mess.
It's a disgrace. The whole thing is a disgrace. They're killing people by the thousands. It's a genocide, and I'm really angry about it. And we pay, we give a lot of subsidy to Nigeria. We're going to end up stopping. The government's done nothing. They're very ineffective. They're killing Christians at will. And, until I got involved in it 2 weeks ago, nobody even talked about it.
Well, President Trump is reacting today to what we've been covering for a couple of weeks now, but really leaned in with my panel that I hosted at the UN at the request of Ambassador Michael Waltz, and he also invited superstar rapper Nicki Minaj, because she has a pastor who's Nigerian and has jumped into this as an advocate for those under attack. Horrific violence in Nigeria against mostly Christians, and a third mass kidnapping this week alone. So it's getting worse under President Tinubu over there. In this attack, gunmen targeted a Catholic school just days after that attack on a Christian church. Islamic terrorists in Nigeria. There are now 22 of those groups, including Boko Haram, and some of them are aligned with ISIS. They are targeting Christians and have been for years. Some experts, as well as the president, are saying that the mass slaughter needs to be contained. And you heard him here. The government now over there has to do something about this. I joined U.S. Ambassador Waltz for an event on the crisis earlier this week.
I served in Nigeria helping train their Navy SEALs for hostage rescues and to go find these girls. And Harris, it is horrific what is happening to them right now. We were able to get many of them back, but not all of them. And as a father of a daughter, it's just horrific to think little girls, 8, 9 years old, being kidnapped out of their schools and sold into Islamic sex slavery.
Senior Foreign Affairs correspondent Greg Palcott has the latest. Greg.
Hi, Harris. That's right. More violence in Nigeria. Christians again under fire. A Catholic secondary school in the town of Gwara in northwestern Nigeria attacked by gunmen. Local media says as many as 52 kids were kidnapped. A desperate search involving military and police is on right now. And yes, earlier this week, a Catholic church nearby was attacked. 2 people were killed and 38 worshipers abducted. The ransom per person, $69,000. Thousands of Christians have been killed in recent years there, leading some, yes, to speak of a Christian genocide. President Trump has branded Nigeria a country of particular concern regarding religious freedom, threatening to apply sanctions and send in U.S. troops. Here's how a State Department official put it at a congressional briefing yesterday.
The Trump administration is developing a plan to incentivize and compel the Nigerian government to better protect Christian communities and improve religious freedom.
Still, the Trump administration and analysts say others are getting hurt, too, by Islamist terrorists, organized bandits, militants. 25 children were kidnapped at another school in western Nigeria on Monday. 1 escaped. That happened in a Muslim area. Harris, Nigerian officials claim they are not persecuting any religion, but many analysts say at the very least they are certain that the government officials are not protecting their own citizens. Back to you.
Yeah, and as we've been pointing out, it's mostly young girls and women, and that's what we saw in that church. And those new numbers are just heartbreaking. How many more people were kidnapped and killed in that church attack that we showed this week? Greg, thank you very much for the...
So this was a report coming in from Fox News, which is mostly a television channel that aligns with President Trump's party, the Republican Party. So the whole news about over 200 or so girls being abducted in Nigeria, just as these concerns of Christians being persecuted, the whole thing was just on social media. Everyone was talking about it. Then we're hit with this particular news, which is on the screens and which was even confirmed by BBC News. Now, in the wake of all of this, most of you may not have seen what really happened when the Catholic school involved, when it was attacked, and when the bandwidth apparently abducted the girls. Now, even though those visuals are not there for us to see, the video that we're about to watch shows the aftermath of this whole sequence of events that really unfolded, and people are saying that, whoa, perhaps maybe Trump is right and he needs to step in, not to do any bad thing to Nigeria or perhaps distort the country, but to help rescue these girls and also to perhaps eliminate these insurgencies and also these ISIS, Boko Haram, and so forth. So let's take a look at this particular video of what really happened when the bandwidth stormed the Catholic school and then they did this to the Holy Mary statue.
Utaki ndio mutune ndio simu ya kuni kigaka. Eka haya.
So the video you just saw was a video of Holy Mary. Those of us who are Catholic, you know this Mary statue, abandoned, obviously, and this was a Catholic school. So clearly they are. So the narrative that Nigerians were saying this does not happen, it is something which is not happening. Trump is spreading conspiracy theories. The video and the report that was confirms exactly what many people have been saying here. Now, we'll also be looking at one person who kind of saw what was happening in the case. She was even involved, not as in the attack, but then she was a victim, and she was giving an account of what really happened, even how some of her close relatives were entangled in this recent abduction in Nigeria.
I just finished speaking with my mom, and let me tell you guys, my mom said they went to Papiri because from Papiri to where we are staying is not even up to 15 minutes. They went there because my sister Anwuli is in that school. She's currently in secondary school in that school. They went there and it was more than 200 students. They picked up more than 200 people in that school. Some are 4 years, 3 years, some are 4 siblings, some are 3 siblings. They picked up all these people and they tied them like sheep and goats walking inside bush. They tied them. My mom said people that were coming to that school, some parents that were coming to that school through the road, through the bike, that they saw them. They saw them they saw their kids on the road walking inside bush. They were tied like goats, like sheep. This is getting out of hand. More than 200 people were kidnapped this morning. More than 200. And Anwuli, she was so lucky to escape because they in secondary school that they didn't get to secondary school part. They got to the primary school section and they jumped fence. Anwuli is currently in the house now. Just finished speaking with my mom. They jumped fence. Most of their classmates jumped fence. They were able to capture the little children, 4, 3, 5 years. That was the people they kidnapped. And according to my mom, they saw plane. Plane. How did bandits get plane? How?
So definitely this is an issue which is of great concern and everyone is reacting, and we need to really look at this extensively from the point of view that what is happening in Nigeria, we really need to look at it. And ECOWAS also needs to look at these things, because most of these girls who have been abducted, I mean, most of them will be used as trade-offs, in a way that they will say, bring money for us to release these girls for you. That is how basically this bandwidth and these Al Qaeda and ISIS, they make money. They kidnap people, they exchange them for money, you know, that kind of thing. And also, most of these girls, those whose parents will not be able to afford a ransom, let me put it that way, they will be sold off to other people, they'll be sold off to forced marriages and a whole lot of things, and they may never see the end of day, or they may never be reunited with their parents again. These girls were in school forever and ever. Their life would change. Most of them will even be tortured and abused. Now, all of these things which is really going on to some of these ladies who were abducted from the Catholic school, most of them will also be killed. Unfortunately, most of them will be unalived. Why? Because these are people who will not go with the orders of these groups and a whole lot of things. So this is a crisis, and Nigeria needs help from the United States of America to fight these insurgencies. It worked in Israel. The United States of America helped eradicate or perhaps suppress the power of Hamas. So perhaps US can do something. The only thing here is that these two countries need to work together. But then this notion that Nigeria is independent, Nigeria can solve this issue. Nigeria cannot solve this issue. Nigeria is in a mess. The leaders in Nigeria are not doing anything. They need help. These people can't even manage their own affairs. The US can help. You know, Nigeria is not like Israel that has all of these weapons to kind of fed off these kind of ISIS, Boko Haram, and Hamas. Nigeria lacks most of these amenities. They lack the tactical skills, and their personnel on the ground, they don't have the latest, training to combat these kind of ISIS and these kind of Hamas and these kind of Boko Haram. So it's a big issue, and I just pray that something is done. It could be my daughter. There are some people who will be listening to me that they know one or two people who have been caught in this whole crossfire. And I saw a video on social media that when these bandits attack some communities, they kill some people. There were videos that we saw some people who were unalived on the floor. So it's really messy, and I just hope something is being done about it sooner